Okay folks, welcome back. So today I got another RGMT watch for you guys, and this is one I've had in my collection for quite some time. I just forgot to review it. So I'm trying to get organized a little more with my watches and kind of like lining them up by brand, so I can easily kind of go back and see what I have reviewed. You know, I have gotten so many watches from Dartmouth and RGMT in this case that sometimes some of these watches do kind of fall by the wayside. But I'm actually really glad that I forgot about it, because for a while now, if you have been watching my content for years, you folks know, if you've seen the RGMT videos, that a lot of these watches have not been available on the RGMT website. And when they have been, the price was like $1,300. And let's face it, we all know that these watches don't cost $1,300. Now, supply and demand always dictates price, of course. And when somebody does spend more for a watch, I don't want, if you were watching this and you're like, oh, well, I bought that watch and I spent $800. Remember, you don't always get ripped off with things. You're still getting great quality watch, because there's watches all over the price point with all different, for the most part, good quality levels, but there's always going to be differences, right? Little itty-bitty subtle differences. But a lot of times what happens is with these watches, and this can be said for any watch brand that they're not, that are a limited edition, what happens is they release them, they sell out to a lot of retailers, and then you see the prices jump up on eBay, and sometimes the actual websites like RGMT, traditionally, up the last couple of years, their website always had pretty high prices. Then, of course, we had a Phatkat collection coupon code, which I will put a code in the bottom, but I don't think you're really going to need it. But I'll put the link and coupon anyway. Try it, see if it works. But a lot of times their prices were so high that folks went there and said, oh man, you know, I hear it all the time. Phatkat, love the watch, went to buy it though. I couldn't get it through RGMT because either it was out of stock or they wanted way too much for the watch. Remember, price is subjective, but if you fall in love with something and you say, oh man, I should have got that, then you find it somewhere for more than you paid. Remember, if you want it bad enough and you pay more, you're not necessarily getting ripped off. But we do kind of have a sweet spot. I don't want to just paint this picture like, yeah, go ahead and pay $1,300, because at the end of the day, you're going to be able to get this today for an incredible price. And I'm just going to hit you with it right now. This is on sale for $259 and it's in stock, and they have several different color variations. So of the ones I have this in black, I have it in blue. Those are also colors on there. Originally, they came out with the black, then the blue and the green. They have a Coca-Cola bezel. They have the orange, which is awesome. It kind of has, anytime I get an orange watch, it has that Doxa kind of vibe. This watch does come with an orange rubber strap as well, and the shark mesh, which is pretty cool. The other one I couldn't get my hands on, and I'm going to keep trying, is the baby blue one. Then they have two new variations, which kind of have like a camouflage dial. Those are my least favorite, but still, I mean, it is subjective. Everybody likes something different. So I'll just kind of show you guys a couple close-ups here. So if this looks familiar, this style is just super noticeable. It's super unique, and this is a copy of, I believe, Omega's Propolov, I think it's called. Very cool watch. I mean, this is a watch that, remember when I first saw this style, it was only with the Omega style, or the Omega name, and for what they cost, I was like, I'll never have that. But I love watches that are very unique, and I love this kind of dive style watch, and that's what this is. Now, Doxa makes cool watches. I don't have a Doxa, but I have a lot of homages. I have an Aqua Dive, and I can tell you that when we compare this to like my $2,000 Aqua Dive, which is what those cost, there's really no difference in quality, right? They're both amazing watches. And it just goes to show you a company can produce watches at a fraction of the cost that are going to give you incredible quality. So we're going to talk about specifications, of course, because sometimes the price of watches will be a little bit more depending on what the specs are. Like the Aqua Dive, I think that uses like an ETA movement, which traditionally does warrant kind of a higher price, but it doesn't mean that this movement does not tell time reasonably well. I believe this is the NH series, but we'll double check that. But just a very cool design. If you're looking for something that just screams dive watch, screams quality, this is the time to pick this up, because you cannot find homage watches to that particular Omega watch at this price point. Like, even if you go to AliExpress and you try to find like Addie's Dive and what else, Sea Stern and those brands, they're always more than this. So I am just blown away that they're actually selling this for this price now. It is definitely a time to pick this up if you've been wanting to get one of these for a while. So as far as what's in stock, so the orange is in stock. The black is sold out. Let's see what else they got. The blue is sold out. I knew these were going to sell out. The green is sold out. The Pepsi bezel is available. Of course, the orange. Let's see if the baby blue is available. This is kind of like a military green and brown. So I'm not sure where I got I might be looking at a different watch there. All right, so you have kind of normal colors, no crazy camouflage, which is cool too. Don't get me wrong. I think I was thinking of the Ohio, but you have a couple different. You have options on this, right? So definitely pick one of these up. I really like that they also did, depending on which color you get, they have this on the helium release valve. They've kind of coordinated this with, in this case, orange. If you get the baby blue, it's got baby blue, and I think right down the line they kind of coordinate those colors, except for I think the black and the brown. You just have to look at the pictures. Yeah, so in the black, it's still orange. The blue, they do blue. The green, they do green. The Pepsi, they do red. The green, they do yellow. Kind of odd. And then the brown, they also do the yellow. So, crazy, crazy price on this. All right, so what do you get? So let's talk about the specs, and we'll talk about the check boxes, and then what I want you guys to do is click the link in the description and get this while you can. Coupon or not, this is giving you a lot of bang for your buck. So let's start off right with checkbox number 1, right? What kind of material is it? This is 316 stainless steel. And these bracelets, this is the bracelet that I believe, and I don't have any evidence of this, but when I compare the quality to this bracelet with the one on my Aqua Dive, the Aqua Dive bracelet, that did not come on a bracelet. It came on actually a isoframe strap, which is not really, they're nice, but I prefer metal. So I put it on an Aragon strap. This is identical to the straps you can buy from Aragon for like 50 bucks. This you're getting the whole watch for $260, which is incredible. So amazing, amazing bracelet. One thing I was kind of worried about this before I got it was I hope they're not using like that generic, very basic, lower tier shark mesh strap. They're not. This sucker is amazing quality, and you will feel the quality when you get this in your hand. What else on this? Again, all 316 stainless steel. Next to that, as far as the checkboxes that concern me, is what kind of movement does it have? This has the NH35 automatic movement. It's really all you need. It's got a 41-hour power reserve, is what they state on here. I didn't know the NH35 had a 41-hour power reserve, but like I said, I don't really get too involved in knowing all the specs. I don't wear my watches more than a day, maybe 2. So, I always have to set the time anyway. It has 1,000 meters of water resistance. That's not necessarily a checkbox. It might be for you, but incredible, incredible depth rating. This is a dive watch. You can dive with this, right? And when you feel this watch, there will be no question whether, sometimes you'll pick up a watch, right? And say, oh, this has a crazy depth rating, and you feel it, and you're like, I don't know. This screw-down crown, helium release valve, I mean, it's just built very well. Other specifications, so a big one for folks, what kind of crystal does it have? Now, this one here, I don't think, let's see here. It does. So this one here, I mean, come on, $250 with a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective sapphire coated crystal. I'm shocked. I didn't think it had the sapphire crystal in it, to be honest with you. I haven't looked at this watch in a while. I mean, this is just fucking incredible that you're getting these kind of specs for $259. Like, these are the kind of specs you normally get in a lot of micro brands, and this kind of quality. I know you can't feel it, but when you buy it, you will. This is really like a $500-600 watch, right? This thing, I mean, just feels so well made. If you were to put this on somebody's wrist and say, without the branding on it, and say, hey, who do you think makes this? Somebody, you're going to think more of like a top tier micro brand, right? When you compare this again against a Doxa, I've held many Doxas, even a Rolex. I mean, I just don't see the point in spending a ton of money on a watch when you can get this kind of quality for $259. Now, for those folks who maybe don't have RGMT, do you have Nubeo? If you have Nubeo, you're getting that level of quality. And I honestly feel like, Nubeo they're very flashy, pretty watches, and they're still amazing quality. But I feel like these watches here, and maybe I'm delusional in what I'm about to say here, but I don't mean it to be that when you pick up this watch and you pick up a Nubeo, you're going to say, oh, that's a higher quality watch. But I think the simplicity of this compared to like a Nubeo, when you go looking at Magellan, there's more gingerbread on it, right? A lot of the Nubeo watches are a little flashier. Kind of like if you pick up an Invicta Venom or some of the Invicta watches, there's more stuff going on. And so I think the more complex a design is, the more potential, not saying I've had any problems with anything, but the more potential you have for something to maybe break or fail or come off. With this is very basic, right? It's a very simple design. It's a very unique design, but you're getting tons of quality here. I mean, bezel on it, incredible, nice ratcheting motion, although, your fingers kind of grip this. I'm going to call it like a wide gear edge style bezel. You can kind of see, but, definitely snaps into position with authority. And even looking at it here, I can see this glowing. I have natural light coming in this window. And normally, a lot of watches, if I just kind of barely cut my hand on it, like I'm barely covering this and I can see it glowing. So now, as far as the lume on it, it says here they use Swiss New Light. And so, I mean, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this particular watch. I don't know. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, if you're looking for that homage to the Omega Propolov, I think I'm saying that right, and you're looking for something that's not going to break the bank, I mean, I just gotta Google this real quick. Propolov. Well, I got you guys here. I'm probably saying that totally wrong here. Omega. I think it's the Omega. Propolov. No, maybe it's not that. I'm probably saying it's totally wrong. Omega. Propolov. Dive watch. I'm totally butchering this. Yeah, no, that's it. Let me see what they got here. So, like, all right. So there's a couple brands. I just want to hit you with like what Steel Dive charges for this. Steel Dive, another great company. They make a watch similar to this. So pretty similar. Price on this over $300 with shipping, right? Not bad. But still, $259. I mean, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. Let me see. I think I'm using the wrong terminology here. I think the Propolov is a different watch. After all that, right? Well, anyway, you folks always find it in your heart to correct me. So let me know what this is. Yeah, Propolov. Let's see. Propolov. You think after all these years of doing these videos, like I would kind of like prepare a little bit for these videos because I sound like I know what I'm talking about. But honestly, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. Even after having a watch for a while, I still like find it in my watch box. And I'm like, oh, I got to review that. I forgot to review it. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck here. So yeah, if you were to go on, the nice thing about this too is like if you were to go on like AliExpress or some of the other sites and try to find a watch similar, yeah, there's other brands make them. Steel Dive, Tactical Frog, I think a couple. Seastern maybe. But, you know, you never really know what you're going to get when you order that, right? And I know the quality of those watches is great, but I can confirm just based on the fact that I have it here that you're getting a ton of bang for your buck. And for $259, I hate to keep saying that because I don't like to always just kind of like sell you guys a watch based on price, but this really is a great time to pick one of these up. If you've been eyeballing this style for a while, these are not going to last for these price point. And so why are they this price point now? So why were they so expensive before? Like, why were these at like $1,300 on their website? So one thing I've been harping on for a while is we saw over this last year the success Nubeo has had through my videos marketing their brands, right? And so Nubeo, when we look at the clicks, right? If I just kind of give you guys a little bit of information about, I don't know off the top of my head like how many clicks I sent to Nubeo, but did a ton of sales, right? So Nubeo traditionally always sold to consumer, and they had the deals going on, right? And then when they didn't have deals, that Phatkat Collections coupon code. Well, when you go to RGMT, as I mentioned earlier, most of their watches were sold out, and if they weren't sold out, they were like super high, like $1,300. And I said, why are we having these prices like this, right? They're like, oh, well, we generally sell to retailers, and then they kind of manipulate the price. I said, why would we do that? Like, I say we, I'm like, I work with them. I don't work for them. But I'm just really glad that I think they kind of took what I said into consideration, and now they've changed their website, and now they're going to sell direct to consumer. And when I talked about the clicks and the links, you know, there was almost as many clicks to RGMT from my videos as there were Nubeo, but there was a fraction of the sales. I mean, I don't even think it was even 10%. So again, I'm really glad to see that. You guys love these watches. The Ohio is another amazing watch by RGMT, and now is the time to pick these up, get them in your collection. Who knows what, you know, what the price is going to be after the tariffs and all that. So let's go ahead and throw this on the wrist. So one thing to mention, depending on which one you get, which color, I have some of these. The orange one, at least on this model, I have a 7-inch wrist. I have this taken down, the smallest it'll go, using the closest micro adjustment. If you get the black and the blue, those two, at least the ones I have 5 levels of micro adjustment. You can tighten them up a little bit. So I would just kind of be cautious. If you do have a 6.5-inch wrist, this might be a little loose on you. So even for a 7-inch wrist, which is what I got, you can see like there's a little bit of play, but not enough to upset me, right? It's not like flopping down too far. But it is something that I think they should, if they come out with this watch again, if they produce this watch, they should add, you know, the ability to remove another link or give you a couple extra micro adjustments there like they did on the black and the blue. So look at that watch. I mean, just a very unique piece. The black, the blues, the other colors are great, but the orange one I think is just really pops. It screams dive watch, and I know if you add this to your collection, you're gonna love it. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Pick it up. Links in the description. Have a good day. Subscribe to the channel and take care.